What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day here on the farm, and today we're working on this 70s to 80s Dodge Power Wagon. I don't know the year on it. I don't know what engine it's got in it. It's too growed up to get around the driver's side to look at the door, look at the year, but I do know this is somewhere from 70s to 80s truck. I was told this is a forestry bed. I couldn't find any information on it whatsoever. Don't know what it actually is. Don't know where it comes from. So if you reverse image search this, it just brings up manure spreaders. So anyhow, let's hop inside what we can see over here. That's what we got going on. Well, that's pretty cool. Fuse box. There's a receipt. It's in Arab, Alabama for a fuel pump. There's the date on it, 11/1/2004. So I guess it's a okay idea. Last time it was being worked on. That's about all that's in there. Little box is so cool. You got a nice big tray. It's got the old tote in the back, spare tire, radiator, big hydraulic lines, half a gallon of brake fluid. That's pretty nice. Empty bottle of vanilla fat tire dressing. There's some premix oil. That's pretty nice. There's a fuel pump. Let's hope the one that's on it still works from 2004. Let's go ahead, instead of cutting all this stuff out, let's hook the truck to the tractor, get it pulled about here. And today, to help us out, we're going to be using the Chevy Love truck that I got going in one of the videos before this. If you hadn't seen it, go ahead and go back and check it out. It was really cool. This truck's been a really great truck, but it won't pull this truck out, that's for sure. But our little four-wheel drive Mitsubishi can pull it out. Let's go ahead and hook it up, pull this truck out of here, and get to work on it. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing pulled out of here. I don't think we have to go around the axle. This bumper's pretty heavy. Let's go ahead and hook to it. Yeah, that bumper's plenty strong enough. Go ahead. Get the tractor over here, pull this thing out. Alright, change plans. We're gonna have to do something else because that thing is not wanting to budge. Tires, I'm assuming, are flat, and it's digging up dirt pretty bad. This is all Bermuda that we planted here. We don't want to destroy it. So, I think what we'll do is try to use the tractor, the bush hog. We'll try to get in here and bush hog it the best we can. Maybe try clearing out from the back. And I got a weed eater, and we'll get this stuff out the front. So we'll try to do it right here. Alright, for the most part, we can get to the front end, and if we need to, we can turn the key from the passenger door over here until we can get it pulled away from all this stuff. Let's go ahead, get the hood popped on this thing, see what we got going underneath. All right, so I believe this is a 318 They used these for a long time back then. Let's go ahead and see if we got any coolant. This would be great. Bone dry with some rust. That's nice. That's really nice. About the, oh, well, that's good. It's full in the reservoir here. All right, let's go ahead and check the oil. Oh yeah, definitely got oil. Okay, let's go ahead and get this off. Okay, we got a little bitty 2-barrel Holly. It's missing a bolt. Well, on the back. Okay, so we're down one bolt. Either it was forgotten to put in or stripped. And I'm gonna go along with it was probably stripped. Look how much room you have down here in the front fenders. I mean, you could store whatever you need to in the front end of these things. Got a bottle of, no idea, probably oil. Look at this windshield washer line. It's so long. I'm sure this was a factory battery box. Yep, definitely factory. I don't even know if I want to pull the cap off of the brake reservoir. The outside looks so bad. Yep, that looks good. Bendix, that's real nice. But it is empty. Full in this one, empty in that one. Probably got a leak somewhere. We'll just leave it like that. I mean, these brake lines do not look good at all anyways, so they ain't no telling. So in that case, we're gonna try the brake pedal. No, we ain't got fluid. Matter of fact, there was that bottle of brake fluid in the floor. Wonder if it was for that. Let's go ahead and check the power steering fluid just to see. Well, that's dry as a bone. So maybe that's ATF or power steering fluid for that thing, because it might have a leak. All right, so before we go put a battery on this, let's go ahead and check the carburetor. That ain't locked up. Let's go ahead, go get a battery, put it in here, and let's see what this thing does. And if it turns over, we'll throw something down it and see if the thing hits. That way we know if we got ignition or, you know, other issues electrical wise going on. So let's go ahead, get a battery, we'll be back. All right, battery fits like a glove. That box is falling apart. That ain't good. Okay. Positive. Ain't no draws on it. Oh, that's broke. Ain't good. I don't hear nothing though. Let's see. Let's see what's happening inside. Now that we got the battery connected, we got power. Oh man, bit of a stretch. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh yeah. Turn it over. See if we can get this gas down the chute here. This is pre-mix. Now that we got the gas in there, let's go ahead and see what happens. Starts or don't. Look at that. I thought I could hear the exhaust. My lord. we're actually pumping gas. Holy cow. We'll see if I can get a little bit more gas down in there. Guys, that was pretty easy to get this going. I mean, that worked out really well. I was watching the fuel filter down here, and it was just sort of spitting like it was out of fuel. We might just go ahead, try filling the tank up and seeing if it'll pull fuel. If it will, and if it'll run on its own, then we'll have to air these tires up, get this thing where it can roll. Then we'll see what we can't drive this thing out of here. Let's get to put fuel in and air in the tires. All right, so we got our gas that we had laying around the farm. Let's go ahead and get this thing filled up. Now that we got the fuel tank filled up with some gas, got the carburetor filled up with some gas, we're gonna see if it'll run on its own long enough to suck enough fuel up, and if it'll run by itself, and then if it will, then we'll go ahead and see if we can air these tires up and get it pulled out of this spot. So I reckon it's running pretty good on its own right now. I mean, it's been running a good solid 20-30 seconds by itself, no issues. I mean, it's gonna stay that way. But so far, so good. Let's go ahead, see if we can get air tank back up to the front of the truck. Both front tires look to be flat. The rear tires look great, so we ain't got nothing to worry about there. Let's see if we can get these front tires aired up real quick. Let's go ahead, see about airing these tires up, and then if we get it started again, we'll just go ahead and quickly try pulling it out of here so we can work on it a little bit better out in the open. That thing is crunk every time. Every time that I've opened the door and just reached over and turned the key, it's crunk every time. I crawl all the way over to the other side, get ready to start it, and it clicks because it disconnected from the battery. The odds. Well, there we have it. We got it moved out of the spot. Wasn't very graciously or anything like that. It's a bit of a struggle to keep this thing running to get it here. I'm not too sure what's going on with it, but the carburetor definitely needs some work done. But here it is, finally out of the hole. Now we can actually get to this driver's side and take a look. Tire's a little low here. Not too sure what we used to go here. Here's the door panel. I really like these handles. Does the windows work? They do. And loose back. Now we got it out, we can see if we got anything special going on. Let's see. Lights, let's see what we got. Nothing. 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 And nothing. Dang it. Let's try the flashers. I hear the relay. Oh yeah, look. We got one there. Still nothing in front. Oh yeah, look. Nothing there though. Yeah, that one's flashing. Okay. Still nothing in the back. And we got one over here. Man, we got things all over the place. Let's look for miles on this thing. I hadn't even looked. 7,400 miles. So 107,000 miles or more. Yeah. And if you go off the seat's really bad. This has got to have a lot of miles on it. Anything behind the seat? Nothing. Okay. Check out this tailgate, see if it works. That one's not even hooked up. Oh yeah. Look at that. Solid. Man, this truck will be so handy to have around the farm. We could do all kinds of stuff with this bed. Alright, so I just looked up this VIN right here. Not to mention how cool is this VIN plate. But anyways, shows this is a W30, but I looked this up on Haggerty. It shows this thing to be a 1980 W300, and this comes with a 5.9 liter 360. So where I talked about a 318, it is not. This is apparently, according to Haggerty and the VIN, this is a 5.9 liter 360. So it's a little bit bigger engine, which is, I don't know if it's better or not. I don't really know if the 318 was better than the 360. Maybe those of you that are watching that know anything about these can let me know which one's better, which one's more sought after to have. All right, let's see if we can get this thing going again and see if I can tune on the carburetor a little bit, see if we can get something to happen with it. Alright, so it definitely appears to be running out of gas. So we're going to pull the supply line off and see if it's getting fuel or not. Because if it is, that means it's probably just bad gas. But I don't think so. It looks dry to me. Alright, so we're definitely not getting no fuel. It's bubbling in the fuel filter down there on the bottom. So it must be just sucking up air from the tank. Let's get a air nozzle, see if we can blow backwards through this and hear it coming out at the tank. And that way we know it ain't a clog, and we can also hear if the pickup is under the gas or not. Let's try that real quick. gas. We're definitely not getting any fuel up to the carburetor right now. It's bubbling down at the fuel filter beside the fuel pump, but we're just not getting no fuel from the tank. And we can hear when we blow backwards that the pickup is obviously under the gas in the tank because it's gurgling and bubbling. So we know we're under it. I think the fuel pump is just bad. And especially since we found the receipt from 2004, when they did replace that pump, I'm going to say there's a good chance that the pump is bad. But what I want to do is see if I can find a replacement pump to go ahead and bolt back on the block. But as of right now, it's the end of the day. The sun is gone behind the mountains, and we got a lot of stuff to put up. Let's go ahead and get to putting everything up, and then I'll see you guys first thing in the morning. All right, guys, we're finally back at this thing. I went and got a fuel pump to put on this sucker. We are going to replace the factory fuel pump, which is right there under the alternator. We're gonna get that thing off. We're gonna get this one put on, and then we're gonna see if we can get some fuel up here to the carburetor. If we can, this thing will most likely run on its own perfectly fine. Let's get to putting this on there. There we go. All right, so here's the old one. Here's the new one. Let's get this thing put in. Well, we was definitely getting gas. We filled that entire valley up with gas right there. Definitely gonna catch on fire. I need a fire extinguisher up here is what I need. It looked nasty, but it smells pretty good. So it should run on it just fine. All right, tight. Let's go back, start it up, see if it'll run. Alright, it's running pretty good now. All we need to do now is go get some water for the radiator, and also we need to check on the brake fluid because that one side was low. So I don't know if this thing has any brakes or not, but if the brakes work, we can go ahead and fill it up and hope that everything's okay. Most likely, it wouldn't surprise me if we ain't got a leak somewhere. That's no good. Oh, yeah, let's go with some coolant, some brake fluid, and then let's try driving it. Go ahead and get this thing filled up with some coolant. Well, that took a gallon like nothing, so we need another gallon. Another gallon, let's get it in here. Oh, just water, no big deal. There we go. Held nearly 2 gallons. We'll fill it up what brake fluid we have, about out, so it's not much, but hopefully it's enough. Some Brembo brake fluid. Awfully nice fluid to be put in here. Alright, it's good. I don't want to put all of it in there, so we might have some leaks. Alright, we got all the fluids topped off. Everything looks good. Brake fluid, coolant, oil, everything's good to go. Let's go ahead and start it up. Let it get up to temperature. If everything looks good, then we go ahead and try driving this thing. Let's see if we can get this thing to move. Brakes, I don't think are working that well. They got air in them. We're gonna see if we can get this thing down there though. So, here we go. First, battery died on us. We'll have to go get another one. Yeah, but I did see where all of our coolant is going. Yep. Heater core is busted. So we'll have to take them off there on each end, and then we'll just have to run a short line from here to the end of that one in the block, and that way it can just sit there and circulate, and we can disconnect the heater core hoses, because we'll have to get a new heater core for that. All right, we got a new battery put in. Let's see if we can get this thing started. I don't know if we're running out of fuel. Well, we are out of fuel. Yeah, this thing's using way too much fuel, or it leaked fuel. So I thought we put plenty of fuel in here, but it's been sitting, honestly, about a week since I last worked on this thing. I don't hear nothing in there. Dang it. Are we actually out of fuel? I was hoping to get this to the gas station to fill it up at the gas station. Pull this window up. Can't let this stuff get wet, you know? Yes, it'll ruin it. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go ahead and go get some gas for this thing, and then see if we can drive it down to the house. Let's go get some gas. It's hard to close this hood because it's trying to rain. We don't need a carburetor full of water. Now, to get gas. Well, I drove it a little bit. It's running really good. It's running fantastic. Well, we got problems. I was looking at there trying to air up that tire. Yeah, it's completely off the bead. We're gonna have to get this side jacked up, get this outer tire off, and then try to get that thing set back on the bead. Let's go ahead and get this jacked up. That one put up a bit of a fight, but we finally got it. It ain't leaking nowhere around the bead. So that is good to go. Let's go ahead and get this one on, And we got to get the inner one off. On this one, it is also off the bead. That we can just take this outer wheel off and get the inside tire to pop on without taking it off. But most likely we'll have to do the exact same thing we just did. Let's go ahead, get this thing put on so we can move on to the other side. We're gonna go ahead and get everything covered with some anti-seize, so that way we can always work on this easier in the future. Got this side up. Let's go ahead and move on to this side. Yeah, we should be able to get this one put back on there. It don't look that bad. Yeah, it definitely feels good. There we go. Got all the back tires done. Front tires are still holding there, so we're good to go on that side of things. Need to check on brakes, see what we need to do about that. Go ahead and fill it back up and see if we can get them to bleed out. Go ahead and get the cap off. See if we still got fluid in here. Yep, hasn't changed. And since we put the fluid in it last, it hadn't changed at all. Let's go ahead and top this up and then pump the brakes for a little bit. See if we're getting any leaks anywhere. If not, we'll go ahead and see what we can't bleed out the brakes. All right, guys, so I got under here. We were on the passenger rear corner, and I was trying to get the bleeder screw to break loose, and I finally got it break loose, and the nut was coming out of it. That thing is clogged completely up. We might lose a ton of brake fluid, but I want to try to take it out and clean it if we can. See if we can get all this stuff out of here. Poked right through it. Let's blow it out. There we go. Clean as a whistle. Let's go ahead and get this thing put back in. We'll probably have to do it to every single one of them too, because ain't none of them got little caps on them no more. All right, let's get to it. Yep, this one is just as bad, if not worse. All right, let's clean this one up. There we go. All right, so we're not getting any fluid back here. Let's go up front and see if we can figure it out. Let's go ahead and crack these lines and see if we're getting any fluid. All right, so this should be a 9/16. Let's see if it'll break free without stripping. That's wanting to twist the line. Oh, that one done nicely. Well, we got a little bit out of it, and then it stopped. I'm thinking the master cylinder might be bad. All right, guys, so I have done everything I could to get this master cylinder to bleed and to get fluid to the back. It ain't happening. We're getting fluid up here to the front, and it's very light pressure. It's just hardly anything. And it could be just that it's stopped up with junk inside the master cylinder. Instead of taking this apart and trying to clean it and get it to work, it probably ain't going to. Went ahead and got a brand new one. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing put on here. Then we're gonna bench bleed it while it's on the truck. And then we should be able to pull vacuum at the back and finally get fluid back here. If so, we'll be okay. If not, then we're going to try to find a hole that's in the line somewhere. Let's go ahead and get this thing put on here and see what happens. Man, look at how bad that one was leaking inside. No matter what, we had to change this one. It was bad. We're finally ready to bench bleed this thing. And I remember that we had brake fluid inside the truck. We're gonna be able to have all fresh fluid. Let's hop inside, pump the pedal, and get this thing bled. Definitely not how I like to do it. I have a kit where it has all the adapters where you can screw it in, little bitty hoses, and it would come up in here. But I don't have it with me right now, so this is really the best option. I didn't want to take these lines back off. That would have sucked. That got all the air out of it. Plus, we're gonna pull vacuum all the way at the back of the truck. All right, we're ready to start bleeding this thing. I got a pneumatic bleeder here. We're gonna try this thing out to see how well it works. Let's hope we get some fluid from the front. Oh, look at that. There it comes. Yes. Look at that. Alright, we are finally getting some solid, clean fluid. No air bubbles. Let's go ahead and get this off. Got a lot of fluid out, and it was finally clean fluid. Let's go ahead and move on to the other side. There we go. We were getting a solid, clean stream. Go ahead and tighten this up. All right, so we're on the passenger side. I got it low to the ground to keep the master cylinder level, but this bleeder here was completely stuck, and it ended up snapping when I was taking it out. So I had to weld a nut to it to get the old one out, and then we replaced it with a new one. So let's go ahead, get the hose hooked up, start bleeding. Last one, see what happens. Okay, that was how much we got out of it. In order to get it all clean, all we got to do now is hop inside and fill the pedal and hope that it's good. Oh yeah, that is feeling good. Finally. All right, before we can start running this thing, we need to get this heater core bypass. We need to get this hose looped over there and then just stick this one up here on the firewall. There we go. We got this bypass. Heater core can't leak no more. Go ahead and move on to the next thing. We're gonna way around right now to where we can get this towed out of the back of this truck. Alright guys, it is time to go for the very first test drive, if everything works. Let's hope so. So far so good. I'm gonna let it warm up for a second. Peppy. Yeah. Woo. It is time to head for the road. Alright, here we go. I don't know how fast we're going, but we're going. Down me now. Come on. Oh no. Yeah, it's dying. And it's dead. Oh dang it. Let's see. Yeah, we still got gas. Well, we are getting towed because it is not starting and the battery's gonna die. Not too sure what's going on with it. Just trying to keep the tension on the chain. Go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Frick. What was that? Thing just started shaking like crazy. Man, it's doing a death wobble. I guess the answer to the question is, will it run? Yeah, it'll run. Just not very long. Alright guys, so I've been working on this thing non-stop since we got it pulled back in. Trying to figure out what was going on with it. We weren't getting any spark. We were getting it on and off the switch when you turn it on, turn it off. So everything was working fine as far as the ignition module goes. We just wouldn't get no spark during cranking. And I kept going back and forth. It was intermittent, then it was gone. You know, it was just all over the place. And it ended up being the air gap between the pickup inside the distributor. It was too far apart, and it just couldn't always pick up a good spark. So that was our whole issue and why it actually stopped running. But after I finally got it running again, we developed a slight tick. I don't know if you hear or not, but we definitely had a tick. And I checked the oil and it's way over full, like way over. So, and it smells like gas. So I can assume that that thing was letting gas through the carburetor, and it was sitting on the pistons going through and then making its way into the oil. And now it's super thin. It's like water. So that's most likely what's going on. And so I went ahead and checked out the carburetor, made sure that it wasn't sticking and just dripping through anymore. And it was dripping, and now I finally got it to stop. So it ain't dripping through, it ain't leaking fuel into the oil no more. And I was really wanting to wait till after this video, do a full service on the truck, changing oils and everything, engine, transmission, transfer case, the axles and stuff like that. But in this case, since we can't even run the truck now, we're gonna go ahead, change the oil, and then we're gonna try driving the truck one more time, making sure everything works. If so, then we're good. So let's go ahead, get started on changing this oil out and go from there. All right, so here we got my Jetta. This is a 1.9 liter diesel. This is the old ALH. And typically I'll be working on, like, say the truck here, and I'll leave my music playing in the car, and it ends up killing the battery like we have here. I forgot that battery. So let's see how well this thing will start this car. And like this. We'll turn it on. I'll say ready. There it is. It's ready. All right. Let's see if it'll start the car. Like nothing. That battery was dead, and this started like nothing. I didn't have to go get like the love truck or another vehicle and hook to it, boost off booster cables. This thing done it all. Super easy, super convenient. Absolutely love this thing. Huge shout out to AUXITO for sending this out here, letting me use it. I've been using it on a lot of stuff, and it's got this really good light on it as well. Emergency light. It's got a red flashing light. Be really good if you had it in your car and you just brought it down the side of the road and you needed that. This is a really good boost box. I highly recommend y'all guys go check them out, look at their stuff, maybe pick up one of these things. I'll have the link down in the description. But yeah, this thing is awesome. I sure do appreciate it, AUXITO, for reaching out and supporting such a small channel like mine. I really do appreciate it. But for now, I gotta move on and keep working. We've been letting this thing drain for quite some time. Make sure it got every bit of it out. All right, we got the new filter. Got it all lubed up. Where is it? There it is. Tell you what, that looks a whole lot better than a friend being up in there. It's time to fill this thing up. All right, we got 5 quarts of oil here. That's what this thing apparently takes. We'll see. There we go. That's full. I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing up. I'm gonna try to let it run for a minute, see if that tick goes away. And I'm also gonna check voltage coming out this alternator. Alright, so I'm checking voltage. I want to see what the alternator's putting out. I don't know if it's charged or not. We ain't really got to drive the truck much to know. So let's go ahead and test it out. Dang. 15, 14. Well, the alternator is definitely charging really well. Well, it is running really good, and that tick went away completely. I got nothing to worry about as far as that goes. It did have me worried, but it's all good. I think we are finally ready to go ahead and hop in this truck and take it for a drive. Let's see if this thing's gonna leave us stranded again. Man, it feels a lot better than it did yesterday, I know that. Oh, wow, it seems like it don't break. whoa. What the heck is happening? Oh my gosh. It done it a little bit yesterday. That was way worse. It felt like the front end was about to come out from underneath the truck. It stopped again. Sounded like it was out of fuel that time. I mean, I was giving it all I had and it was out of fuel. Alright, let me see what I can do. So, got the fuel filter down here. I had gotten some gas out of it with a water bottle and poured it in the carburetor. Truck runs fine. So, it's not the spark issue again. It seems like it's out of fuel. You got gas in there? That fixed her up. It was out of fuel. We put more fuel in it. Let's see if we make it back to the farm. Brakes. Leak catastrophic. Yeah, so the fan completely exploded. But why? Now, are the bearings that bad? Oh my god. That's why. Completely ruined that radiator. Out of all things that I could imagine, that was not what I thought would have happened. Oh man, look at this mess. We needed a radiator flush, but we didn't need to do it that way. There you go. So the water pump bearings were shot, apparently. Didn't know it. And when I revved it up, it put just enough torque on it that one of the fan blades was able to grab the radiator and absolutely destroy it. Holy cow. That ain't good. Well, we're gonna have to get pulled home again. Oh man, the amount of work put into this truck has been insane. And then for something like that to happen, just really, that's all part of it. You ain't gonna win every one of them. What a shame, man. What a shame. Be towed in twice on this thing. Alright, so we have made it back home. And man, I just can't believe that happened. And the water pump, man, it just never looked like it was bad. I had pulled on it when I first started working on the truck, and it didn't have no play in it, but you could see that belt is twisted like that right there. The bearings are definitely bad. Out of all that work, that's what killed us right there. I mean, that ended everything. That is going to be a wrap for this video, guys. I sure do appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, so that way you can keep up to date on all the videos that we upload. I hope to keep pumping out content for you guys. I love doing this. This is so much fun working on these videos and making these old vehicles run. I absolutely love it. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Trying to do this outro and these dang guineas are all over the place, man. What are you doing on the chicken house?